Hello everyone, Chrissy here from the Creative Eclectic. Happy Tuesday night. Hope you're having a fabulous week so far, and I hope that if you were in Australia you had a lovely Australia Day long weekend. It was a pretty special weekend. We celebrated with friends and it was just lovely. So I'm really excited to be here this week. I've got a few things to share. So let's just see if I can bring up tonight's video, and hopefully some people are watching. If you're watching, pop a hello in the comments and we'll get started. I've got two projects to share, a little mini unboxing, and I wanted to show you some happy mail that I got. Hi Glenda, thanks for watching. I'm just going to move my box out the way and then I can show you this happy mail that I got. How are you, Glenda? Is it warm enough for you? Now my camera is a long way away from where my project is, but I'll bring that down a bit closer. After we unbox what's in my big brown box. Yeah. Hope you're well, Glenda. All right. I'm really excited to share with you this happy mail that I got. So I wasn't expecting this, and it arrived in the mail, and it's I knew I was getting a gift from Stampin' Up, but I thought they gave it to you later. So we could opt for a couple of gifts. We have 4 options. And this is for being in the top achievers overall. So this is a really handy organizer for my car, and it's got Velcro and it has bits on the back that slip over the seat. But I thought I could hang that actually off a hook in my craft room and it would be pretty cool. So it's quite cute. It's got little pockets on the side so you can not lose stuff. I had some rain today. Oh, well, that's good. And it's a bit good that it's a bit cooler. So this is, I think they call it a car caddy. So this is one of the gifts I received from Stampin' Up. Now, I have to tell you that less than 1% of demonstrators receive these gifts. Now, the other part of the gift was a desk set. So there's a pencil holder, and it's, I don't know if it's real leather, but it's a leather look anyway, in smoky slate with some gold on it. And then there's a thing for your pencils or your pens. And then there's like a tray thingy. And so you can slide your to-do stuff or your cards or whatever into that little desk set. So that was part of my gift from Stampin' Up. And then it also included this little candle and a metallic craftwork pen and a wax seal. Now I haven't played with this yet, and so it's got lovely little branches on it and so you put your little wax, and I've sent you lots of wax. You put the little wax into this little thing and hold it over your candle, and then you pour it on. and you press this in and it's for on your envelopes. So I thought, like, I could have got a ring light, or I could have got more bags, and I just thought that this was a good option, because it's something I wouldn't buy for myself, and I've been looking at these wax seals for ages, so I thought that was a really lovely gift from Stampin' Up. I feel very, very spoilt. So, and it all fits together, and it doesn't fit in the tote, but it's still pretty cool, and I'm really happy with that. Although I did discover the bags that I could have got were Samsonite bags, and I really like those. So I'm not a label girl at all. So next up, I thought we would quickly unbox. Hello, Megan. Oh, you just missed my little show of my happy mail that I got, but you're here for the good stuff anyway. So this is a little box of goodies that I got today. I have taken the stuff out that doesn't belong to me. So I bought this Terrific Toadstools bundle, and I was never going to get it. And I thought, you know what? I need to get that, because I've seen so many good things made with it. So it's got a punch and a stamp set. And then the other thing that I got was the Everyday Arches stamp. So do you remember what's on the seal top? Is it the Stampin' Up logo? It's got a little Stampin' Up logo there, Glenda, but it's just a leaf. It's very pretty. Yeah, I thought it was very, very nice. And I know that you can get special other attachments for them, and I was going to get a little flamingo one eventually. Who knows, Megan? It might be a hint of what's in the next catalogue. I can't speculate on that. Alright, so this is the Everyday Arches stamp set. Now, you might remember last week I showed you the Everyday Arches dies, and I accidentally bought the dies without buying this stamp set. And I liked this You Are Simply Fantastic. I liked that, and the Reach for the Stars. So I think that they're really nice sentiments, which will be really nice on my pillow gifts for my roomie and my team at Onstage. So I'm going to pop that aside. The other thing that I got is the plaster painting 3D embossing folder. Now this is massive. And I just thought this would make a really nice background. I quite like the oil painted look. So let's just open it and have a little look. Let's fold this. So how are you, Megan? Now, so this is really big. So that's really nice. I like that it's so big. It's massive and it feels really deep. So that'll be something fun to play with. I've got so many embossing folders, and I do forget to use them enough. And they're such a good way to change the look of things. That's good, Megan. I'm glad. Alright, so the other things in this box are these 4x6 flip flaps. Now these are for scrapbooking, but you can use them for making little, I'll tear it to open it, making little books and things like that, memory books. So they basically, you just slide whatever you want in there and this sticks on to your scrap page. And you can do like a waterfall effect or something like that. I'm pretty good, thanks. I'm a bit nervous today because I go and see my back specialist tomorrow, Megan. But so I got them in 4x6. Then there's another size which is 3x4. And then there's a 3x3. Whoops, I got a couple of 3x3s anyway, well, quite a few. And then this one's a 4x4. Oh no, that's a 3x3. So I obviously had an idea for those 3x3 ones. And then there's also this even bigger one, and it's a 8x12 flip flap. So that's pretty cool. So that's in there. And then also, oh, of course, I got some more glue. And I got these little bee trinkets. Now these are absolutely tiny, and I think I've shown you that before. Oh, you think you know what I'm going to do with them? Maybe. And you mean the flip flaps, of course. So these little bees are absolutely tiny, and you have to actually roll your glue dot to be able to fit them on. So I got those, and because I bought over $100 worth of product, I got a Sale-a-Bration freebie. And so I chose, because we have our craft for a cause coming up in just under 2 weeks, I chose this Toadstool Gardens paper. Hi Fiona, lovely to see you. So I'm just going to pop these things all back in the box, and I have a pack of that Toadstool Gardens paper open, so we're going to use that on our project tonight, along with the Terrific Toadstools. Now I haven't used the Terrific Toadstools before, so I'm going to be learning. Alright, and we're going to play, I'm going to bring the camera down, make it a bit easier. Move that over that way a little bit. Let's rearrange my desk. There we go. Now hopefully that's okay. Ink pads in. Now, before we start, I want to give you a little tip. And this was shared with me by Megan. And I think she got it from someone else, from Beck Hall or someone. So when you buy a white craft ink pad, they come uninked, so the ink is separately, and you ink it up. But I've already got a white one. But what I find is sometimes my Memento black ink, because you have to store it upside down like that, sometimes it goes really dry. So Megan said to me that medium readings are so expensive. I don't know. Megan, don't know. Okay, so I have bought my basic white uninked craft stamp pad, and I've got my Memento ink. So what I'm going to do is, and this has got no ink on it whatsoever, so if you press it, it's got no ink. I'm going to use my Memento Ink refill, and I'm going to ink up this ink pad. So then when it's inked up and you put it away, the ink pad stores upside down, and I'll just put a label over the top of that. But I just wanted to let you know about that little tip from Megan. I'm not inking it up today. I'll do another video separately of that. But I thought it was such a great idea, and why didn't I think of that? And you could do the same with StazOn in the saddle brown and in the jet black. So I think I'm going to have a little collection of those white ink pads that have got different labels. So you need to make sure though that you label them. All right. So that was my little Tuesday tip. So today we're having a look at sketches. And in particular, do I need to zoom in a little bit more? Let's see. In particular, whoops. Just trying to make sure that it's right. There we go. I'm looking at this sketch here. Can I zoom in and zoom out? So this one here, and we're going to use that sketch as an inspiration. So you'll find the sketches on page 12 of your mini catalogue, and you'll find the Terrific Toadstools, which we're using the bundle today, is on page 53 of the mini catalogue. All right, so let's talk about using a sketch. So basically they've got 3 long bits and a horizontal bit and some ribbon. All right, so when you use a sketch, you don't have to keep it the way that it is there. And so I'm going to demonstrate that to you tonight. So I have got a piece of basic black cardstock, and I'll get my bone folder. I won't use my nails. And I've got a piece of basic white for the inside. And then I have a piece of the lovely Terrific Toadstools. I don't even know that's what it's called. What is it called? It is called Toadstool Gardens. Right, so I've got a piece of that. Now I love this side. I don't know what happened to, I bought up some examples with that paper, and I don't know where they are, but I want to use the pink side. All right, then so that piece is 3 7/8 by 5 5/8. Okay, so whatever 1/8 of an inch smaller than your base card is. Now I've got this piece here, and it is 5 1/4 by 3 inches. And I've got a piece of white that I've die cut already. And I've got some white strings, and I've got a little scrap as well. We're going to use that on the inside of the card. And I have my paper trimmer, which is looking a bit dirty, but anyway, I spend half my life cleaning my paper trimmer. So what we're going to do with this piece here is we're just going to cut it into 3 1-inch strips. Okay. When you're cutting your pattern paper, you'll get a better result if you don't start at the end, right? So you start in the middle when you start cutting, so you don't bring it up from down here. You start it, press in the middle. I learned that from Kevin, so thanks Kevin if you're watching, or when you watch later. I'm going to assume you're going to watch later. And so I've just cut those 3 1-inch strips into, well, that piece into 3 1-inch strips. Okay, so we're just going to pop them over there out the way. And I'm going to bring in my piercing mat. And I'm going to do a little bit of stamping. So this is, I'm doing 2 cards, and one is more, is better than the other. I've got my prototype here, Fiona, when I was doing your stamping mat. So it's got your name on it, but it's not yours, it's actually mine. The first time I was laser engraving. So I've got my Terrific Toadstools. Now, I haven't used these before, but that's quite okay. So we're going to start with our sentiment, and we're going to do a bit of a contrast, and we're going to pick up on the greens that are in the paper. So we're going to use Granny Apple Green, or I'm going to use Granny Apple Green. All right, so I'll grab my blocks. And I'm going to use a nice big block today. Oh, it's stuck in my case. I don't want to break a nail getting it out. All right. So we'll just pop our stamp onto the bit that we want to stamp, and just let it rest for a second. Oops. And then I'm just going to press my ink pad, what do you call it? Block onto it. Now, I'm a bit concerned that I haven't used this set before, so I thought I need a bit of scrap paper to just stamp it for the first time. And I've got a good old Stampin' Up post-it note from a few years ago. And we're going to, you are a star, Fiona. I still haven't had a chance to go through that wall yet. I'll do that, Fiona. I haven't forgotten. Oh, Fiona, I played trivia on Australia Day, and guess what? My team won. I'm turning into a trivia addict. So I'm just going to let my stamp rest on my ink pad for a moment. Just let it soak up that ink. And now I've cut the banner with the Stylish Shapes dies. Okay. And I'm just going to just stamp it on there just to make sure that it stamps okay. And it does. So move my scratch paper out of the way. And I'll just stamp my popping up to say hi. In the middle. I'll just press that lightly. That's sort of straight. It was Australia Day trivia, Fiona. I should have done better, but our team won, and I was the only Australian in the team, so that was pretty funny. All right, so Now we've done our stamping. We're going to start putting it together. So we've got a 3-inch piece of paper that's been cut into 3 panels. Now keep the panels in order, all right? But we'll start with the inside of the card. I'm not stamping the inside of the card, but what I am doing is I've got my liquid glue, and I don't know where my silicone craft mat is. It was here. But I've got my liquid glue and I'm just going to pop that on the back of that little strip and pop that on the bottom of my piece of white. Now this is an easily adjustable card because you just make it in whatever measurements you use in your part of the world. We're just going to trim off that excess. Okay, and we'll turn it over and just put some glue on the back. Yeah, Steve cleans off the desk when he's used it for the day, but sometimes he cleans everything off it. So I do have to try and find where he's put stuff. But he's a good man. Yeah. All right. So, well, I've got an ink booger there because I must have had ink on my fingers. So that's okay. We will just grab a little leaf from this stamp set and stamp that over the ink booger. Grab a smaller block. Now, because it's already on another piece of cardstock, I'm not going to worry about putting my mat underneath it. Just going to leave that sit for just a second. And just press it there. Now I'm going to have 3 leaves on this. So I'm going with I'm winging it because I had that ink booger. And I wanted to cover that up. So that covers up that ink booger nicely. And you've got an odd number of things on that side. So there we go. So make sure I've got no ink on my hands again. All right, so now this is probably the easiest card that you will make all year. And I've got my foam strips because they'll make this easier. So what I'm going to do is grab my piece of pattern paper, and I've got some white twine, white baker's twine. So on my pattern paper, just going to pop some glue. But before I do, I'm going to grab a bit of tear and tape, 2 little bits of tear and tape. And just stick my baker's twine about, let's say, about 2 inches, about 2 inches up from the bottom. And I'm just going to stick that on the base. And you don't have to take the backing off the tear and tape. About 2 inches in. So now, and I've left plenty of room, okay? So now when I pop this on, that should be in the spot where I want it to be, right? Now you'll notice, you'll think, how is this like that sketch? Bear with me, all right? We'll just use our bone folder to get any bumps out of it. So now I'm going to grab my 3-inch strips and try and line them up again. This one's so much easier to line up than other ones I've used. So we're going to flip them over and we're going to put our, I've got 2 strips of the, what is that? Adhesive strips. I'm just going to put them on. Be generous with it. You don't want your paper to sag in the middle. I'll pop that one on there. I'm putting 2 strips on each one. So what did everyone else do for Australia Day? Did anyone have, we went to a barbecue and played trivia and everybody brought a dish from the country of their origin. And I found a fabulous recipe for a pineapple lump slice. And so I took a risk and made it. And everybody sort of devoured it. It was pretty fun. I was pretty impressed. And yeah, it was just a really nice day. It was very, very warm though. What did you do, Fiona and Glenda? Did you do anything special for Australia Day? I've got my 3 strips on. Oops. Now, I'm going to show you a little trick with these. When you're using these adhesive strips, and you can do it with your tear and tape as well, just get them started by just folding down a bit of the paper. So don't take all the paper off yet. Okay, you're gonna, if there's little pieces, you'll have to take the paper off, but and you just want that paper to be sticking out the side so that you can grab it. All right, and I'll do the same here. I've got my paper, and there's a reason why I do this, and just makes your life easier when you're trying to position something. So we know that that one goes there, this one goes, those 2 go like that, right? I'll just take the tape off these 2. I'm hoping I don't run out of time for the other one, but it looks like we're going okay for time. So we'll just line these up again. So that one and that one go like that. Then this one must go over here. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to put this first one on, and it's going to be about 1/4 inch from the top and the bottom and from the right side, right? And just make sure that paper is sticking out. Okay. Now I'm not sticking it down yet, I'm just trying to get it in position. Then we do the other outside one. This one on the left. Okay. So now, when we know that they're lined up at the top, because if you put them on and you had already taken all that tape off and you had to move them, you run the risk of making them tearing the paper underneath. So now what we do is we just gently, and we know that that's straight, we gently ease that paper off. And ease that paper off there, all the way down. Now, I had two pieces, I didn't realise that. And so now that's in the right spot, well, thereabouts. Now this one, we just ease the paper off, and then ease the paper off on that side, and it's in the right spot. Now, I do want them to be very, very straight. Now, and we want them to line up at the top and at the bottom. You helped Tony with your car engine. Ah, and you worked Monday. So it was just quiet. Glenda did the usual stuff, cleaning, cooking and crafting. Cleaning is a never-ending job. I've got a big pile of washing that I need to do, and I said to Steve, I need to do that because I'm running out of clothes. All right, so now you've got your little, so like in the sketch, this sketch here, you've got your 3 banners, right? Just our banners are a different size. Then we're going to take our twine. Now, we should have a little glue dot up here somewhere. There we go. We're going to grab a little glue dot and put it under where we want the knot of our twine to go. So about here. Now I haven't cut my twine yet. And then I've put my knot where I've joined on the top of the glue dot. And then I'm just making a little bow right where that glue dot is. And then if I want to adjust the size, I just put my finger on the knot and just pull gently. And then pull gently the other way. So we've got our little knot there. Just going to trim off the excess. About there. And then now I've got my little popping up to say hi. I'm going to pop these on some of these as well because they're out. So I'm just popping 2 on there. So Fiona, are you any closer to getting your car fixed, ready for the road trip in June? Hope so. That's going to be so much fun. Really missed doing it last year. We just couldn't fit it in. Alright. I'm just going to pop this on there. So, I'm going to grab these. These are another Sale-a-Bration item. These are the purple adhesive back sequins, and I think they go really well, so let's pop 3 of those on there. Have a big one, a little one down here, and another one over there. Actually, I'll put the little one down here and I'll shift that big one. All right, so that is our first sketch. All right, so let's just compare the two. So they've both got 3 panels, and then they've got a bit across the middle, and they're tied together with some twine. So that's our first card for tonight, and I have one more to do. We're going to use that same sketch, but we're going to do it a little bit differently. All right. Now I have got my piece of pebbled path for the base and a piece of white for the inside. So I'm just gonna, so the white doesn't get lost. Oh, thanks, Megan. What did you do for Australia Day? I've heard what everybody else did. How's that $1 million puppy? Oh, what did Fiona say? She said the head is off the old motor and the sump is on the new motor, but there's still a way to go. Oh, crack that whip, Fiona. That's got to be ready. Every week I'm going to ask you if it's ready. You know that, don't you? All right. So I've just glued the white on the inside, so that's out the way. So I've got this piece. This is also from that same set, and it is, I'm just going to cut it down because I've only cut it, it's 3 3/4 inches, but I want to make it by 5.5 inches, so we'll just cut that down to 5.5 inches. Now this one here, we're going to make 2 cuts. We're going to make it, because it's just over 2 inches, so I want to make it 1 3/4 inches, and then I'm going to turn it round. So this is the same as this bit here. So that was the other piece, right? And then I'm going to cut that to 5.5 as well. All right, the $1 million dog is doing really well now, thanks. That's great. Oh, you just did grocery washing, hemming, and grocery shopping. Well, you could come do my washing, Megan. All right, so this one we're going to again pop our a piece of white twine on. So I'm going to put it in about the middle. All right, so at about the 2-inch mark. Just because I want it to be over all of the layers, and if I do it now, I won't forget to do it. Boring stuff. Yeah, well, Delphi Dog had a haircut yesterday. We gave her a trim. She's looking pretty good. We're okay with trimming her as long as she stands still. If she doesn't stand still, like if you try and do it on your own, you have no hope. But as long as she stands still, it seems okay. So I've just popped that down there. I'm not cutting that off yet. And Delphi's been very good, and she's lying here next to me, just chilling, because the air conditioning's on in the office. And like, even though we cut her hair, we didn't trim it really short. We just trimmed it just enough to get her through. So I'm going to pop that in the middle. Alright. So I'm still using the same sketch as we did before. Alright. And I love liquid glue because you can wriggle it. Alright, so we're going to just use my bone folder, get rid of any lumps. Now I've got this piece here, and we're going to pop this across the middle. So this is going to be a landscape card. Alright. And I'm just going to pop that centered top to bottom. Well, try and keep it straight. Oh, it's a bit crooked. I think I need a ruler or need new glasses, one of the two. Although I don't wear glasses when I'm crafting. Maybe I need to. Alright, so I've got that bit. Alright. We won't waste that scrap. We'll just pop that across the bottom there. And we'll put that on the inside as well. We don't want to waste it. Let's pop that in there. And we'll pop this one all the way across the bottom so that one less thing to go in the recycle bin, and then the inside of your card is decorated. And I am putting my paper all the way across the bottom so that it lines up with the with the base card, just so that there's a little less wastage. Trim that off. Okay. Sort of, Megan. Am I doing on swaps for on stage? Sort of. I'm doing some things for on stage. And I don't know if that's sufficiently vague enough. Alright, let's just pop the lid back on our glue for now. And stand that out the way. Now it's time for some stamping. So, we're going to stamp our sentiment on a piece of die cut white. Glenda, are you coming to on stage? It's going to be very fun. Now I'm going to stamp my sentiment. We're going to use the same sentiment as we did before, I think. Oh, what can I do? Oh, actually no. We might use, no, we'll use the same sentiment because I didn't cut a thin one, a narrow one. I only cut a large one. So we're going to stamp the sentiment in, what is that colour? Pebble Path. So use our piercing mat. So this is probably the oldest piercing mat that I own. And we're just popping up to say hi. Just going to let that rest for a second. And the other thing we're going to do is we're going to stamp 3 mushrooms. So I haven't done these before, so brand new stamp set as of today. Let's pop that on there. That doesn't look too bad. While I've got my granny apple green out, I'm just going to grab my we don't need our pebble, oh yes we will need our pebble path. We're going to grab our granny apple green just as a contrast, because there's some granny apple green in the paper. Just going to quickly sponge or blend around the edges, and don't read that it's light blue on the sponge. I have washed it. Okay, so we're just gently sponging around the edges just to soften it. And to blend it so it looks like it's bright in the middle and then it goes to green at the points. Okay, I think that's enough. Alright, so that looks not too bad. Alright, so now we're going to stamp our mushrooms. So I'm not stamping them on white, I'm using some basic beige today. So I'm going to stamp 2 of these in Pebble Path onto the basic beige and 2 stems, and then I'll do 1 in Melon Mambo, and I might use a big flat one for the Melon Mambo. I think we'll just see how we go. So we'll start with the Melon Mambo one. I'll stamp a Melon Mambo in both colours just so that I in both styles, just so I've got something to play with. So I don't know how this is gonna, how well this is gonna stamp, and it's a brand new ink pad, so let's, fingers crossed everyone, and let's see how we go. Now I might need to clean my stamp first. Usually that's the first thing I do when I get a stamp, is clean it. Hi Janine, thanks for watching. Oh no, you're not coming to on stage. That's no good. It's a big expense and it's sold out really quickly. I'm just going to do this one. This one might be a bit better. Now I'm not worried that they're going to be a bit speckled, right? Because toadstools aren't, by their very nature, they are not perfect in their composition. All right, let's put that on the inside there. I'll just wipe off this, and I will clean them with soapy water later. All right, now I'm going to do the next size. And I'm going to do that in pink as well, just in case. Oh, this one looks like it might be a really good one. Oh, that's very good. I like that one. So I think that's enough for the pink. Let's grab out the punch. I haven't, as you can see, it's brand new punch. Haven't used it before. So let's see how we go. I'm wanting to, I've just cut that. Just cutting that down so that I've got more room to put my paper in. Okay. So we're just lining that up. Oh, that's looking pretty good. Now, if you wanted, you could have used white embossing powder on a pink or melon mambo base. Alright, get rid of that one. Alright, so we've got one mushroom top. Let's see how this mushroom top looks. Second mushroom top. Oh. And that goes really well too. Right, so I need two I'm going to do two Pebble Path ones. Oh, I'd have to turn that over and do it on the magical other side. Just do it down the bottom here. I'm just going to let that sit for just a second. The punch does not leave an edge. Ah. Yeah, the beige does soften it. Yes, and the punch doesn't leave an edge, which I like that. Just sit there. Yeah, I quite like that Pebble Path. Let's see. What I'm going to need to do is just chop that bit off. And cut off the one that I don't want. So I like that the punch doesn't leave an edge. I was probably thinking that when I did this in my head, I probably thought that I would use, well, let's see how this one punches. It might be okay. I probably thought I would should use Pebble Path or Basic Beige. Basic Beige would have probably made it a bit softer again for the ink. All right. So I've got those. Now we've got to do some stems. And I'm going to do the stems in Basic Beige. Let's just clean that off. And I'm going to stamp Basic Beige onto Basic Beige. All right. So let's see, we've got this stem here. And I don't know how this works, but anyway, we'll just, it might be a fussy cutting thing I need to do. I'm not sure. I think I have to stamp it. I think I have to cut down here. I could use my trimmer, but I rarely use Basic Beige, Megan, but I did use it a lot with that Storybook Friends bundle. Now that's a bit wonky. What if I do it without the thing underneath it? Oh, that's a bit better. I think it's going to be cut down anyway. So we're just going to pop them in. So it cuts out the stems. Oh, they're okay. And what I want to do is I want to have a bigger stem for the big mushroom. So let me just grab that. My video's stopped working on my iPad. Oh dear. I'm hoping you're all still watching and I'm not just talking to air. Yeah, Megan, I don't usually use Basic Beige. It's not a go-to colour. But neither was Pebble Path, and now Pebble Path is the new black for me. I use it all the time. I'm just going to stamp my big stem. Okay, and then just see that where we're up to. Now this is too big to punch it out, so we're just going to grab the scissors and turning our cardstock, just fussy cut around that stem. And it gives you an opportunity to make the stem a lot crisper as well. Okay. Yes, I love Pebble Path too, and I'm going to be very devastated when Pebble Path retires in May. So if you don't have Pebble Path, at least get the ink pad and the re-inkers, because it's just that little bit softer than black and the basic grey. Alright, so the punch worked out really well and seem to have got everything that we need to get stamped. So we'll just close up all our ink pads. Now, hopefully, I'm just gonna punch one more of these smaller stems just in case. All right. So hopefully this will work out the way that I think it's going to. So I wanted to put my 2 Pebble Path mushrooms here. Now, some people, when they're putting together their mushrooms, they put the stalk at the back, but the stalk actually goes into the center of your mushroom cap. Alright, so I'm going to grab some dimensionals. I've got big dimensionals and little dimensionals, and I'm going to pop this one in the middle and pop the big stalk there. Alright, now in my head it looked really good, so fingers crossed it works out the way I envisage. Alright, so we're going to grab some dimensionals for the back of these two. So you need probably about 3. Oh goodness, it's all sticking to my nails. So I'm going to stick that about there. Alright, and we're actually going to stick it up so the top, so it's above that little banner piece. Trust me, I know what I'm doing, and I'm going to use little dimensionals to pop that on the bottom there. Now the stalks will be covered up, so I'm not worried too much. And a little dab of glue. Little dab of glue at the top. So that's one. Don't worry, just pretend that bit of dimensional you can't see, alright? Because you won't see it when go to the next bit. I'm just going to cut off an edge of the dimensionals. That might be easier for this one. So this is the second stalk. Just trimming that bit of the rogue bit of dimensional off so we don't see it. So I've got a very small group watching tonight. Well, it's only the dedicated people. Now if you're in my VIP group, you will have seen we have a colour challenge that starts today, and the colour combination that you need to use to go and share your project before whatever the cut-off date is, I can't remember what it was, is Lost Lagoon, Petunia Pop and Basic Black. So that's a nice little colour combination. Just pop a bit of glue on the top there. So, alright. I'm going to grab this one here. And we're popping a double dimensional in the middle. And then a single dimensional on either side. Okay, so then that's going to pop up over top of those ones, and it's going to go up just a little bit higher than them. Right. Then we'll grab one of the edge pieces off our dimensionals. And we're going to just pop that down the centre there. Oops. Right, and then actually we don't want it to go all the way to the top, do we? Let's peel a little bit off there. There we go. Then we're going to put another dimensional underneath the base. Just to hold it in place. Whoops. Goodness me, all thumbs today. Get a small mini dimensional. Pop that in place there. Now we're going a little bit over time, but we're nearly done. And pop a little bit of glue at the top. All right, so that one, whoops, got a very big bit of glue there. Had a glue oozy thing, a glue booger. I'll pop that there. All right, so now we're going to pop our label over those. Now we'll have a single dimensional in the middle and double height dimensionals at each end. And the reason we're doing that is because the stalk in the middle is higher. All right, and I'm just going to bring my twine so it's over this side because I didn't quite leave enough twine there. I'm going to pop this here. And this one can ease down just a little bit. And you might think this doesn't look anything like that sketch, Chrissy. Well, it does. It really does. Just trust me. We'll pop that there. Now, I did think about putting some of this ribbon that we got for free on there as well, but I just didn't want to. So I'm just going to I've popped my glue dot on there. And I'm going to pop my bow, make my bow. I don't want my bow to be bigger than my pattern paper piece. It's all wrangled. But all twisted, but that's okay. I'm just going to trim off the ends of that. Now, I don't like where that sits, so I'm going to cheat a little bit and take my pick tool, and I'm going to put just a little sequin there, just a couple of little sequins on the top. I'll put that one down there. And then I can use some of the pale pink ones just there. Now this is sort of in the wrong place, so I'm just going to use take my pick tool to just maneuver it down to where I want it to go. And it works quite well. Just encouraging it to go where you want it to go. And I can move that up a bit. Okay. Actually, we'll just use white. We'll stick with the white on this one. And I'm not going to actually put them on the... yeah, I will. I'll put them on there. So, as I said, I hadn't used this stamp set before. So I'm going to put them there and there. It only arrived today, so it was my first play. So I hope you like this card. And now let's go and have a look at the sketch and let's talk about how it's... Oh, that's what I forgot to do. I had another piece of Papercraft, and what I wanted to do, it's already die cut, what I want to do to add a bit more interest is I'm going to pop it under each end. So I've die cut it and I have cut it in half, and I'm just going to pop it on some dimensionals under each end. Being facetious now, that's moved. Let me just take that one off. See, I forgot all about that piece, and because I forgot it, now I'm worried that it's not going to look how I want. So I've just taken the label off, sticking a dimensional there. I only need one dimensional on this. A bit of glue. Okay. This one I only need one dimensional as well. I'm going to have to undo that twine. Actually, I don't even want dimensionals on those. What am I thinking? Ah, dear. Just wasn't thinking. I just want them to be flat. Just glue them on, right? And ignore everything that went before. Hi Leanne, thanks for watching. How is it in Portland today? Have you got snow yet? I'm hoping that it started to snow. I mean, it's snowing in Florida. I'm sure it could snow in Portland this week. Okay, now that's better. I know it doesn't look better, but it is better. All right, we're going to pop this on. Make sure you pop it the right way up. That's better. Oh. Now let's go back and tie this bow again. Put my glue dot on the background. I can't see any comments for a while, so let me just stand up and see if I can see them on my phone. Not even a whisper of the white stuff. Oh goodness, that's terrible. Not even a whisper. It's normally really cold there because we're right up near, well, not far from the border of Canada. There we go. Now it's looking a bit wonky because of the way I played around with it before. Let's just shove that down there. All right. It's not the best one that I've made, but it's not too bad. So that is our second card using that sketch. So as you can see, we've still used the same elements. But instead of having 3 pieces of cardstock, we've used the 3 mushrooms. And we still have the banner, and we still have the twine, and we still have a mess, and it's all right. And then we have, that's the other one we did with the sketch. So I quite like that little stamp set, and I like when you stamp it on basic beige. I wonder how the top of the mushroom would be on basic beige. Or you could clear emboss it. That would be nice too. Anyway, so that is my little cards for today. Thank you, Megan. I appreciate you saying that they're great. This one's a bit of a hot mess, but it's not too bad. And I like the sketch, so that was fun. So that's it from me. I'm sorry I'm a bit over time tonight. But I wanted to show you my little gifts from Stampin' Up when I started. So that was really exciting to get those in the post, and it was exciting to get my big brown box in the post with hardly anything in it for me. Anyway, until next time, happy creating. I'll see most of you on Saturday for Mystery Stamping. Until then, bye for now. Oh, Mystery Stamping Clue is already up on the blog and on the event and on my Stampin' Up page as well. So all the first clue, which is the supply list, is waiting for you, eagerly for you to gather your supplies and get ready for Saturday. Until then, happy creating and bye for now.